Let's talk about pricing for a moment and how we can actually estimate the costs. We are on the AWS pricing calculator right now, but before we will do a basic calculation, let's talk a little bit about the pricing model itself and some factors that we need to take into the consideration. AWS pricing is known for its flexibility and pay-as-you-go model, which means you only pay for the resources you use. However, managing costs is quite important to avoid unexpected charges. So let's go for a moment into AWS pricing principles. AWS pricing varies depending on the service, but most services are based on three primary pricing models. First of them is on-demand pricing. You pay only for what you use with no upfront commitment, and this is ideal for short-term on our predictable workloads. The next one is saving plans and reserved instances, and if you can predict your usage, AWS offers discounted rates for long-term commitments. You can save by purchasing a savings plan, example for compute service, or reserved instances for services like EC2. The third one is free tier and always free as covered previously. So some services are free for 12 months after signing up, and others are always free within certain usage limits. What you need to keep in mind here would be, among others, compute. So example, the number and type of EC2 instances you choose, the storage, so how many data and where you are storing them, or data transfer, so moving data to and from AWS services or to the internet. So equipped with that basic knowledge, let's hop in for a moment to AWS pricing calculator, which is under quite a nice domain, calculator.aws, and let's create ourselves a very basic EC2 estimate. About the EC2, we will talk in further videos, but right now, for you to know that EC2 is a basic concept of virtual servers in AWS. So we can launch ourselves a server that we will have a specified OS, and we can do some compute on that. So let's go to here, let's search by services, and let's say for the sake of this argument that we want to launch 4 EC2 instances of a specific type. So I will configure here the operating system. Let's leave it for now. Right now we will talk that more depth later. We discussed that we want to have 4 instances, and here we have all those different instances types and instance families. We will talk about it in depth later. For now, for the sake of argument of cost wise, I will choose C5, and let's say we want to have C5X large, which is 4 vCPUs and 8 gigs of RAM. So I will choose that and scroll down a little bit. We will go to the on-demand one, which we discussed before, and we can see that one particular instance costs 17 cents in USD per hour. The monthly cost of particular one instance is $124 and 10 cents. Here, when we will drop down this show calculation, we can see the total cost that 4 instances times 17 cents of on-demand hourly cost times 730 hours in a month give us approximately $3 short of $500 a month. So this is a very simple approach to calculate beforehand what you want to do in AWS and how much it will cost. So this wraps up our very basic introduction and the theory about regions, free tier, and the costs itself. And now in the next video, we will finally create our first AWS account.